Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Colosseum. Last episode we made it to Pirate Town, started working on the dual square, dual circle, pirate circle, I don't know what you want to call this. We beat one trainer, and we got his shadow Pokemon. And it's kind of hard to tell right there, but he's a little miscolored, but it's okay. We don't discriminate. Now, what I want to do is we got these 4 trainers to take care of and that trainer to take care of before we move on. Got a whole lot to talk about. It's called dual square. It's still a circle and that makes me upset that they call it a square. It's fine now. We're going to hop right into these battles and we're going to see the other kind of shadow Pokemon we can get to start off our journey. Mr. Nover here is actually going to have a Noctowl for us. Now, Noctowl is a culprit of the physical special split to a maximum. Pretty weird distributed stat. Sparkle. I'm never going to get over that. Has weirdly distributed stats for a flying type because flying's a physical move or a physical type, and as you can see, its attack stat is very poor. It has very good HP though, very good special defense, and a decent speed and special attack stat. Unfortunately, the only moves it gets to really benefit from that special attack stat is Confusion at level 43. It also gets access to Dream Eater at the mid 50s, which I mean it could be kind of cool. Other than that, I actually still recommend Noctowl for the early game solely because is a very tanky, strong Pokemon. And even with that low attack stat, Shadow Rush still does enough damage for it to do decently in the early game. It's something if you use for the long run, I could definitely see it falling off. But Hypnosis early on is good. Reflect's a really good support move. And Fly, when you get it that far purified, is pretty decent even at the early levels with the low attack stat. Fly's pretty cool too because it takes you out of the battle for a turn. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword because you think about it. You're not doing anything that turn. So let's say if both the Pokemon attack Noctowl, for example, then they wasted their turn. However, if they attack the other Pokemon, you just wasted your turn and, you know, you're kind of SOL there. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You got to use it the right situations. I wasn't really paying attention with the speed. I think the first time I called with Mischievous too, so there's that. But I want to try to get that Noctowl confused because confusing a Pokemon that uses moves like Fly is basically how you want to take care of them because they have to go through 2 confusion chances to get the attack off. We are probably gonna, yeah, we're gonna switch out Espeon. Oh, that's right, he used Safeguard. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's send out Coll, and we'll Shadow. Actually, no, we won't Shadow Rush that. We're gonna just go for a Great Ball. I know it has really high HP, but right here, I don't feel like Shadow Rushing the Wingull. I'm gonna Shadow Rush it with Coll when it comes in. About 10 Great Balls, and I've already used 5 of them. I've caught like 3 Shadow Pokemon. This is insane. Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's just going to keep on spamming Fly. And you can still throw Pokeballs when a Pokemon's up in the air. But you can't really do anything else, which is a little unfortunate. Finally, like 5 turns later. Sheesh. Yeah, Yeah, Noctiles aren't the funnest thing to catch, but like I said, it's very useful to use early on before you get your full team going together. If a Pokemon goes into hyper mode, its attacks become more likely to be critical hits, like I explained, I think, episode 2? But yeah, that is a very strong strategy. I'm going to heal up and then we're going to go into the next one. Just wanted to show this off before we go to the next battle. Just look at the sheer bulk this Noctowl has. His defense is really bad, but the special defense is a lot higher than anything other than Embryon. So yeah, like I said, and this thing's pretty good for the first boss. Alright, next battle. Now, this trainer here has a Shadow Flaffy, and I don't know if you caught on to what I said last episode when we caught Misdreavious, but I said I wasn't expecting to have a third team member so soon. Well, that's because of Flaffy here. Flaffy in the eventual Ampharos is going to be the 4th member of our team, but let's go into what Ampharos has to bring. So Ampharos behaves a little differently than most electric types. Most electric types are fast with high special attack. Flaffy, and Ampharos on the other hand, is slow with high special attack, but with pretty decent stats to make up for it. Has an HP stat to actually be able to take a hit, along with good defenses and good special defenses to be pretty decently bulky. And then the special attack stat is just the icing on the cake. Now, you're going to see Thunderbolt there, and that is a really big reason to use this because it gets access to Thunderbolt, which is a really strong electric type move. It's basically the electric type spam move of choice, but it also gets Thunder Wave, which is crucial to have a status inflection move in games like this when you are catching Pokemon from trainers. This is because it's going to make catching these Pokemon so much easier. It's going to cut their speed in half. It's going to make them not attack half the time. And it's going to increase your chance of actually catching the Pokemon. I truthfully really recommend you pick this up if you just want a Pokemon that's going to make your life a whole lot easier. I believe it is actually one of your only options for an electric type in this game. So you're very limited on the choice, but the choice you have is a very good one. Also, don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning or not, Ampharos is in my top 5 of favorite Pokemon ever, so I am more than happy to have this thing on our team. The move Shadow Rush inflicts damage on any kind of Pokemon without being afflicted by their types. The amount of damage doesn't vary with the target's Pokemon type, so it's easy to use. Yep, no strengths, no weaknesses, just a lot of damage. Oh, I didn't mean to show this off so early, but if you go into the police station, which is where the PC is, you get this little cutscene. Ow, 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 ow. I'm sorry, Chief. There's trouble afoot. You see, Chief, there's talks that thugs have been witnessed using strange Pokemon. Huh? Chief? You're not the Chief. I beg your pardon. I'm here, Johnson. That story isn't new. I've heard it over and over already. Oh, Chief, there you are. You're such a kidder. Weirdo. Anyway, I just came in here to get Flaffy. If you try talking to anyone in Duel Square, it's a circle! Now, I know what you're thinking with this thing. What the hell are those stats? Skip Plume and the eventual Jump Pluff is a unique type of grass type. It's a speedy tank. And unfortunately, it really doesn't get many moves that help support that. It gets Sleep Powder, and you can teach it the Toxic TM that you're going to be getting here soon. It has Synthesis to heal, has Mega Drain, that's like a priority, or not priority, but a move that will allow it to heal off of damage. Really, I mean, like, It looks bad, but in a game of double battles, in a game where status inflictions could be the win or lose turn or tide, it could serve a role. It could definitely serve a role. It's gonna get sleep powder off before anything, just about. And if something is faster than you, just set up a sunny day and you double your speed, so you can outspeed the 2 Pokemon in this game that probably outspeed Jump Bluff at the end. But if you're just looking for a status inflictor that goes first, that's really all I have to say about this thing I can offer you. It's going to be lagging behind in the damage. It's going to be constantly doing very minimal if you have it out for more than just its setup. Again, if you're looking for a Pokemon that's fast and that can set up, this is your guy. If you're looking for a damage dealing grass type, you're probably better off with Bayleaf. The amount of times I went in and out of hyper mode that battle is actually insane. That was an incredible battle. I simply love strong guys. That's Love. If you ever get the urge to battle with me again, I'll always be here for you, honey. What she said there is actually true. You can rematch any of those guys, and I believe a couple of the other trainers in Pyrite Town whenever you want, so you can XP farm as much as you want. You can also money farm and buy great balls, because as you can see, Pokeballs suck. Alright, last one of the circle. You want to battle me? Sure thing. Battling fans are always welcome. Fan. Let me start off by saying Quagsire is my favorite Pokemon ever. Well, technically Wooper, but Wooper, Quagsire, same evolution line. This Pokemon is fantastic. It's always happy, which means you should always be happy, because if Quagsire can find a way to be happy, so can you. This Pokemon is blessed with a fantastic type. Water Ground only being weak to grass type moves. Its stats outside of speed are fantastic. It has the bulk to tank any moves. It has a good physical attack stat. It has a good enough special attack stat to take use of that Surf. And I've told you before, Surf is a really good move. At level 43, it also learns Earthquake, which is another really good move for double battles. It also gets access to the move Yawn, I believe in the mid 30s, which is a status move that will make a Pokemon fall asleep the next turn. On top of that, you can give it Water Absorb, which will give it not only an immunity to water, but it'll give it heals if it gets hit by a water move. This Pokemon is so fantastic in so many ways, and this is what I was saying about Croconaw, is if you're looking for a water type, Croconaw's not your guy, just because there's so many good water types so early in this game. And this isn't the only good water type outside of Croconaw. There's still another good water type, which is the only reason why I'm not using this thing, is because there's another water type that I'm thinking about using instead. However though, it hurts me to say, because this is my favorite Pokemon ever, and I use this thing every single opportunity I get. And if you are looking for a water type that can tank, that can do damage, that can set status priorities, that can do anything you want, this is your guy. Also, he has shades on. He's a cool guy. Alright, with Battle Circle completed, I'm gonna go heal. I'll be right back. Alright, heading back up here, we actually... let's go in with this. I want to get Espeon kind of caught up in the levels, because right now he's like our weakest member. I'm gonna talk to this guy. And I'm actually going to commentate over this battle because I enjoy commentating over battles, and I had to not talk for the last 4 battles. So this guy's going to have a I almost said Shladow. A Shadow Slugma. This is your other option of a fire type if you did not pick Quilava. And let me tell you, they could not have given you more of a dog shit fire type in the entire Poke universe. Let me try to explain the one good thing about this Pokemon. You get Flamethrower in its starting moveset. Now, you're going to see its stats are really subpar, but when it evolves, it looks like it actually has some decent stats. It has a scary defensive stat, and it has a special attack and a special defense stat that are somewhat respectable. However, you got to look at the speed stat, and you got to look at the HP. And you got to realize that fire and the rock type it gains as it evolves is by far the worst, like the absolute worst defensive typing ever. You're weak to fighting, you're quad weak to ground, you're quad weak to water, you gain a neutral instead of a resistance to grass, you gain a neutral to steel instead of a resistance. You're still neutral to rock. It's just like it doesn't really wall anything off, and you just gain all these extra weaknesses. On top of that, its HP is not even there. So yeah, cool, it has high defenses, but doesn't have a lot of HP to really support that. So if you're gonna use this thing, yeah, you got Flamethrower. Yeah, it's gonna do a decent amount of damage when it does get a hit off, but all in all, I would stay far away from this thing if possible. If you really want to use a fire type and you need to use Quilava, well, just don't use a fire type. just give up on that dream. And that is tragic. We didn't kill the Igglybuff. I'll tell you what. Talked a lot of crap about this Slugma, but it's kind of rinsing our team a little bit. Actually, I'm probably going to chance it here with the Pokeball. It does have a really high catch rate, and it being already in the yellows, this should catch. But it might KO Espeon if it gets another Flamethrower off. That's the one thing. The move is very strong. It's just it doesn't have the stats to back it up, unfortunately, which is a shame because Rock Fire is such a cool type combination, I feel like, that just is so unusable just due to the weaknesses. You need high speed. You need to pretty much be a glass cannon if you're a rock fire type. There is a Pokemon that does it a little bit better later on in the series, but in this regard, it's not the best. Also, its attack stat is absolutely horrible to go with its rock typing. I'm gonna stick with Flame Wheel. As you can see there, Quilava's Shadow Gauge is actually completely full, and it's still a Shadow type. Well, yeah, that's not all you gotta do. You do have to make the Shadow Gauge completely white, but there is a certain event we have to trigger before we are able to actually purify our Pokemon. So our Pokemon are stuck the way they are for at least the decently near future. Alright, with that being done, we are going to head up here. Oh, I forgot about this. There's a health recovery machine right here. So don't use the hotel. Don't be like me and waste 300 Poké Dollars. This is the Colosseum. Welcome to the Pirate Colosseum. Are you here to register for entry? I'm sorry, but the current challenge is underway. Please wait for the next challenge's registration. Talk to this guy. I didn't get here in time to make the registration. I've heard rumors that if you win the challenge, you get an awesome Pokemon, like that Coll did. Oh, sheesh, what am I saying? You have to keep that a secret. Pretend you never heard me, alright? Wasn't Coll the guy that was in the entrance around the town's end? Wow, I botched that. Wasn't Coll the guy who was hanging around the town's entrance? We should ask him. He might know something. Let's go to Coll! Da, 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 da. Ha! What's that? You want to know if I have a weird Pokemon? If you want to know that much, you might as well see it with your own eyes. Mr. Kale here has a Furret. Now, Furret's a normal type. Normal types they're a little different. They're not strong against anything, but besides fighting, they're not weak against anything either. Normal types can normally learn a wide variety of moves like fire, water, grass, rock, ground. Like, they can learn anything. They just don't get the same type of attack bonus you would get from using the same types. I would actually recommend Furret if you want to use a normal type early on. You might want to replace him later, but he's pretty good. Strength with the stab from his normal typing does a lot of damage, as you can see right there. It did almost half of our Flaffy, and Flaffy's not the tankiest Pokemon, but he can tank a few hits here and there. The attack stat's decent. The speed is good enough to where it's going to outspeed most things. If you get it, get Keen Eye, because Runaway is absolutely useless in this game. It also gets access to Iron Tail, which is good coverage, and Quick Attack, which is a good priority move, and Helping Hand just to be a support Pokemon. So it has a little bit of everything, which is... oh, shoot. Let's use Return, and we'll switch out because we don't want to lose. Yeah, if you're in the department for a normal type or you really like using Furrets, remember, you don't have a lot of options for normal types in this game. I will say, however, that your other few options for normal types are better than Furret, but you won't be seeing them until quite a bit later, so this is definitely something that can help you get through the early parts of the game if you're looking for a strong Pokemon with a strong move. So I want to, honestly, I want to try to just catch that thing early. If I can just snag it in a Great Ball right off rip, that would be great. And then we can start Shadow Rushing the Ralts. Flaffy's already coming in clutch with the paralysis. That's exactly why we got him too. In these games, you really, really want a Pokemon with some sort of status inflicting move. Paralysis is usually the best. But sleep is really good too, because that just automatically takes them out of the battle for however long they're sleeping for. That's a reason why Quagsire is even better than you think, on top of, you know, its great type and surf and eventual earth. Quagsire's just a good Pokemon, but so is Ampharos. But yeah, it looks like Mr. Kale here really ain't much of a challenge for us. The thing about catching all these shadow Pokemon early on too is you are truly powerful compared to the other trainers. Like, these shadow Pokemon are no joke. And I don't think this will finish it off. Misdreavus isn't the strongest attacker. Rock Smash. This is gonna do no damage. Yeah. No damage. Alright, let's finish this up. I need to move Espeon into the other team slot because, like, you see its animation, how it kind of looks over its shoulder. If you put it in another team slot, it actually, like, looks at Wes, which I always thought was really cool and, like, touching. My shadow Pokemon! Yeah, we robbed you. We literally just came through Pirate Town and robbed everybody of their Pokemon. That was it? That line, me or B? Oh, he's involved in this. He came up with that fancy, tough-sounding name, Shadow Pokemon, but it was no big deal. My God, I robbed you! You guys be careful, too. Don't be played for a sucker. That's about all they'll give you if you win at the Colosseum. Shadow Pokemon. That's what it's called. A Shadow Pokemon. Oh, yeah, this is the first time we actually hear the true name of what these Pokemon are called. That Pokemon with the black aura. No way! He's involved too? I would have never guessed. He was like the prime candidate of a, you know, an outstanding citizen, a do-gooder. I would have never expected anything evil out of him. I trust things are going according to plan, Mirabee? Oh yes, indeed, Master Nescor. Our plan is coming along in a lovely, peachy keen way. We have already broken Duncan's spirit. We can do as we please at the Colosseum without his meddling. We've been giving away Shadow Pokemon on the sly to challenge winners for gathering data. Good. The others appear also appear to be doing their parts to implement our plan. Our Shadow Pokemon plan is falling into place quickly. The final phase is not far off. This is perking up my spirit and body. Oh, I feel like dancing. Save your dancing until our plan succeeds. I'm off. Okay then, I shall make my return to the cave where my darling Pokemon await my return. Let the music play. It looks like the Colosseum has a secret. I guess there's no choice but to take part in the battle challenge there. Alright, next episode, we have our goal. We gotta win this Colosseum and see if they're gonna be stupid enough to give us yet again another Shadow Pokemon. Or will this be our way into their secret hideout? Who knows? We'll see next episode on more Pokemon Colosseum. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see y'all next time.